Starbucks had acquired a coffee company called Peet's Coffee Company in 1986 or so, and they got into financial trouble. And I was an employee of the company. And the founder came to me and said, we're in financial trouble. I'm going to move to California. I'm going to keep Peet's. I'm going to sell Starbucks. I want you to be the owner of Starbucks. So I was thrilled. And the purchase price was $3.8 million for 6 stores. But I had no money, nothing. And he said, I'll give you 60 days exclusive to go out and raise the money. And he came to me about the end of month 1 and he said, how are you doing? I said, I've got about half of it raised. I'm sure I'm going to find the money. And then he laid this on me. He said, we have an unsolicited purchase for the company for $4 million, no due diligence. And I said, but you gave me an exclusive. And he said, one of your early investors of the other coffee company that you started has gone around you, but I'm going to have to take the money if you can't raise it. Now, here's the issue. This guy was a titan in Seattle. He was larger than life and so successful. And I was this kid who had a dream. And I knew that within 24 hours, this thing was going to be over for me. So that night, I told my friend, who was a young lawyer, exactly what I just told you. And he says to me, come to our office tomorrow morning and meet our senior partner. At this point, I would have met anyone. And I said, okay, who is it? And he said, Bill Gates Sr. I never heard of Bill Gates Sr. And Bill Gates,
Bill Gates must have come from somewhere.
But Bill Gates was not Bill Gates then. He was just Bill. So I went to the office that morning and met Bill Gates Sr., who was like 6'8", a giant of a man. My heart was racing, and he said, tell me the story. I told him everything, and he asked me 2 questions. He said, Howard, is everything you told me true? And I said, Mr. Gates, yes. And he said, have you left anything out? I said, no, nothing. And he says, I want you to come back in 2 hours. And I said, okay, well, what are we going to do? And he said, just come back in 2 hours. So I left. I got a cup of coffee, and I came back in 2 hours. And I walk into his office, and he says, we're going to go for a walk. And I said, where are we going? And he said, we're going to go see the man. And we literally walked across the street. My heart was in my mouth. And we walked in. I don't know if he called him. I don't know if there was an appointment. I don't know anything. And we walked into the guy's office. Bill Gates, all 6'7", 6'8", towers over his desk and says, you should be ashamed of yourself. This is not going to go down. You are going to stand down, and this kid is going to realize his dream. Do you understand me? And I was thinking to myself, this must be how things get done. And we walked out. We literally walked out. And I said, Mr. Gates, what just happened? And he said, you're going to buy the company, and my son and I are going to help you.